82Z, and then we're talking
82Z versus an 875. So I play on an 82Z. And it was really more of a circumstance. A student had munched his horn. It was a Selmer Series 2 that he munched and thought it was dead, so he bought an 82Z. Well, then I sent him to a repairman, and he got it fixed, and then he sold the 82Z, and then he gave it at such a price I couldn't turn it down. But I play on an 82Z. I have a ton of students who play on 875s, and they're just different, and the little bit of brightness that comes out of the 82Z, the response is different. It just plays different, but it comes down to what the individual student sounds like on the horn that they play on.
And preference, because you're wearing a Selmer jacket right now. Yep. It doesn't necessarily mean that you just endorse one horn or the other, right?
Nope, I will endorse whatever plays well is well, and there's no one mouthpiece, there's no one horn. There's what fits what you can do, what you can play, what you can afford, and just try to be the best musician you can.
So like maybe your three favorite horns that you've played on so far, brand-wise.
Brand-wise is super simple. It's just Selmer, Yanagasawa, and Yamaha are my top three.
Right, and why those? I know you mentioned clarity earlier in terms of what it is you're working on with students. But
to me, it's feel and response.
Sure.
I adore Selmer. I used to play on Selmer all the time. And in fact, the reason I have the Yamaha is because I sold my Selmer to a student who I felt needed it more than I needed to own it as a teacher. I felt that student needed it. They still have it. But I played on Selmer my entire life. The Yanagasawas have just come a galaxy since I was a kid. And the Yamahas too. Those have come up a galaxy as well. And they all play well. It's just the difference between price, metal, what kind of metals, how much the metal, the purity of the metal, and and the difference between the franc, or the euro, the yen, and the dollar. So it really comes down to what you can afford.
Durability, which horn do you...
Durability, I think they're all, durability, the Selmer I still think is the most solid horn that you're going to find.
Sure.
But again, I have no complaints with my Yamaha. I got a couple students on Yanagasawa. They're all great horns.
What about reeds? What do you prefer in terms of reed strength, number one, and then reed
I don't believe in a number. Number does not define. The mouthpiece will define what number you need. For example, my student who's playing on a Selmer Concept gonna need a softer reed. I once had a student who played on a Selmer D, and she played on a size 2. So it's not the size of the reed; it's the mouthpiece. It's the mouthpiece, the ligature, and your choice of what needs to play and the response that you can get and the sound you want to make.
For young students that are starting off, typically they're going to start off on a 2.5 and a standard mouthpiece, like a stock mouthpiece. What's your recommendation for moving beyond that once they've been playing for, let's say, another year?
There's a bunch of mouthpieces that are great. Just getting to the ebonite mouthpieces as fast as you can, getting a quality mouthpiece, quality ligature. It comes down to response and feel, whether you like the leathers or the metals. I like response, so I play on metals. A lot of people like feel, so they play on the leathers. If you're a jazzer, you tend to play on the leathers. But I much prefer the metals. But I'm a classically trained saxophone player.
Sure. And I love your answers that you're allowing for everyone to be able to pick their own.
It's never one answer. There is no one horn. There's no one mouthpiece. There's not. It drives me insane when people say there's one mouthpiece or one ligature or one reed. It doesn't matter. When I adjudicate a lot on saxophone, and when you're behind the screen, I can't tell what mouthpiece or reed or ligature. I would have to ask to find out. It's the same with metal. You can't tell silver from brass. You can't tell what color it is. And anyone that says they can is definitely lying.
I love it. David, thank you so much for spending time with us.
You're welcome.